So several people have now posted the video online that does not capture the entire encounter. You can see the man right there in a parking lot. Police say he pulled out a gun and refused orders to drop it. But after watching the video, not everyone is convinced he was armed. In the building surveillance video, you see the man in Aberdeen appearing to scream at someone in a parking lot just before noon on Monday. Police say 41-year-old Christopher Fitzpatrick, who had several warrants out for his arrest, was yelling at an officer, saying he did not want to go back to prison. Then another Aberdeen officer pulls up in a patrol car just feet from the man. Fitzpatrick then turns toward the arriving officer. You see him flinch. He's shot and falls backward, hitting the pavement. We've made the decision not to show the actual shooting. In the moments that follow, you see two police officers appear from off-screen. They approach the man lying on the ground. Hours later, the police chief described what happened.
The individual displayed a firearm pointed at the direction of my officer. The individual was ordered to drop the firearm. The officer who was in pursuit then discharged his firearm a number of times, striking the individual.
A woman who said she's close with the Fitzpatrick family, questioning if he pointed a gun at officers. Writing to us, "I'm no forensic scientist, but it doesn't look like this man pulled a gun on anybody." We slowed down the video and zoomed in. This is the moment right before police shoot the man.
I do know he had a pistol in his possession. When I arrived on scene shortly after the shooting had occurred, the pistol was still in close proximity to the man.
Police say they had been running after Fitzpatrick before this encounter. The chief says he was known to them and he was wanted for felony warrants for eluding police and possession of methamphetamine. The chief says one of the officers involved was a supervisor who's been with the agency for 20+ years. The other officer has been in law enforcement for more than 3 years. The officer who fired the shots is now on paid administrative leave.
All right, Matt, thank you. And tonight we know more about the investigation into the deadly shooting.
Q13's Frankie Thompson is live in Grays Harbor County with that part of the story tonight. Frankie, what are you learning?
Jamie, the sheriff here in Grays Harbor County says there's a lot more to this investigation than what that video is showing, now viewed thousands of times on social media. He confirms the man did have a gun, which is now in evidence. Our cameras were on scene yesterday, piecing this shooting together. Sheriff here says it's a policy to activate the Region 3 Sheriff's Unit. The group is made of law enforcement in Mason, Thurston, Lewis, and Grays Harbor counties, many of which you're seeing on your screen right now. The primary focus of this unit is to investigate officer-involved shootings. I just spoke with Grays Harbor Sheriff Rick Scott, whose department will be leading the investigation. He says the video doesn't tell the whole story.
It's just that when you look at that, it's easy for the viewer to interpret it in a variety of ways. I mean, we've had, I can't tell you how many different theories that, were called in based on what this person thinks happened watching the video, and because they watched it 7 times.
The sheriff says that this man was not tased in this officer-involved shooting. He does tell me that he believes the Aberdeen news release is consistent to the investigation. He tells me that there will be a couple more major developments in this case later this week. As soon as we learn a little bit more about that information, we'll be sure to give you that update again as soon as we get it. For now, we're reporting live in Grays Harbor County. Frankie Thompson, Q13 News.